Here's The Wire, Season 2, Episode 7, titled Backwash. This is the legacy episode, what we do or don't do for our future, for our kids, about making sure that the next generation has enough highways for them to get across the river, so to speak. And if you really look at it, the baby boomers did the next generation wrong. They really did in many ways, and this is kind of what they're kind of touching at in this episode. There's not really much left. And when there was a shift in the economy, and there was a shift in kind of like from the industrial to information age, there was a lot of mess. And when I'm doing this review in 2013, it's still a lot of crap going on. There's no jobs out there for many people. I was just talking to someone at the grocery store the other day, someone I respect who's worked for my company, Wildtown, and who's done some freelance work, but she's looking for like a great gig, and I wish I can give it to her. It's the same. She said it's the same. It's even worse than 2009 after the crash. And this is what we're talking about in this episode, where it's still kind of messy. They're not really giving. They never really gave much to their future. And we understand Frank Sabaka, because he knows his kid isn't going to have the job on the docks like he used to. He knows his kid's not going to have the consistent paycheck like he used to. And you can see where his kid Ziggy's going to go, because it goes to you resort to crime because you're used to a certain lifestyle, and that lifestyle doesn't exist anymore, so you resort to crime. It's simple economics. It happens time and time again, and people don't want to read the stats. They want to have this rhetoric about if you just work hard, blah 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 blah. But generally speaking, you're working with what you have, and what you have isn't what you have anymore. Things will change, especially if you're brought up in a certain environment expecting things to be the same. Of course, this is the tragic death of D'Angelo, where we see at the last of the episode where Stringer orders a hit on D'Angelo, because D'Angelo will not change, and D'Angelo wants to move on, and they want him to remain the same in their little ideologies. And that's sort of what's happening as well in season 2, where the older generation wants the younger generation to be just like them, but it's a different world, so they can't be just like them. And D'Angelo is kind of like the metaphor of how he dies, because he's the guy who gets it the most, and he's the one who dies for it. And of course McNulty wants his family back, but he can't be trusted because he is who he is, and basically there's no way you can take a guy like that back. And of course Daniels loves his job. His wife gives one of the great lines of season 2, but you love your job, Cedric, but the job doesn't love you back. And because he's going to lose his marriage because he's good police. He understands. He's a logical person. He understands what the right thing to do, but everybody's kind of stuck in their own little worlds. So it's the legacy episode, but it's also how really the mentors screwed the proteges. That's my review.